Larry Bryant from OSU. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning to everyone. Beautiful day. We had a little moisture this week, but
what difference does this rain make? We got a couple of inches around the area.
We are still, most of our counties in extreme drought still. We did get some runoff, some pond runoff, and I tell you, in our county right now, it's about a 60-mile radius. We've had so much high sulfate tests on our water, which is due to the water table being so low. So we need some good rains. We need to continue getting those. But I tell you, it's kind of like the dog days of summer already. It's been so warm. But one of the new things, we've talked about this for about 8 months, and it's finally starting to take place, and that's this New World screwworm.
Well, before we get to that, I want your thoughts. What's OSU? What are you saying about this 832? What's that going to mean to farmers? We had that discussion with Dave Bond, but I'd like to get your take on, because it's on the ballot. It's the only state question, and it relates to the minimum wage.
And I think that really affects agriculture in a big way for our exemption, because agriculture is a whole different type of business. Number one, we have trouble finding anyone to work now. But raising that, I think can hurt agriculture tremendously in the job market. You know, when you look at the farm industry right now, we see that we got a strong cattle market, real depressed wheat market. Crops are all down. It's a very stressful occupation, and now we're throwing this in on top of it. And I think just overall in our area, and I heard you mention this a while ago, I don't know anyone that makes minimum wage.
I've asked business people around town. I've not found anyone that pays a minimum wage. Now, I'm not saying there's not some starting jobs that some maybe small companies are paying minimum wage, but the minimum is $7.25. That's the federal minimum, same as the U.S. minimum. It's a starting point, but I don't know. If you take that exemption away from ag and small business, I think it's going to hurt most businesses. And it's not the initial $15 an hour that worries me as much as this wording in there. It even says that it'll hurt the rural economy possibly by causing the wages to go up so high that people can't afford to hire anybody.
And and I think when we look at that, another thing we fail to look at, the cost of living is going to go up. If we raise the wage, prices are going to go up. And I think someone mentioned, look in California, what has happened since they did this procedure, and look how many jobs they've lost. And I thought something interesting a while ago. He spoke about the kiosks at McDonald's in California as compared to here. I mean, but it is something that I think is very stirring. I think it would affect agriculture. And I tell you, it would affect more than just the local farmer, too, when we talk about agriculture businesses. I think it could affect it more than that. And one thing that people need to be educated on this state question and educated on who's running for these offices. I think it's, someone has said you need to study, and you do. You need to know what each one of these candidates want to do. We want to know what that state question wants to do, and just be prepared. Don't go in and just mark a ballot.
Well, particularly what we call the down ballot races. Like for one of the big races, the state superintendent, there's on the Republican side of that ticket, there's like 7 people running. So how are you going to decide who to vote for? Do your research on that. And the Democrats for that office as well. So they've got a couple of people running. So there's 9 people or so on the ballot for just that job. And that's a high-profile job, and it is really a big job. So that one's one that people need to really take a close look at. And then I mentioned also Todd Russ, he really is one of us out here. He's from Cordell. Right. He's a farmer rancher. He's down to earth, conservative. He's got an opponent, and she's got more name recognition than he has. So it's Cindy Byrd is running against him, and she's the state auditor inspector now, she can't run for that office anymore, so she wants to keep her job. So she thought she was going to be lieutenant governor, and that didn't work out. So she moved over to the state treasurer. So I think for us in at least Western Oklahoma, we needed to get on board with Todd Russ. By the way, speaking of that, we'll have a little meet and greet for Todd this evening out at Lucille's at 5:30. So you or anyone else invited to come out and meet with Todd and talk to him a little bit.
Good person.
So anyway, those are a couple of races I would note. I'll talk more about that before we end the show today.
And just like the state superintendent's race. One of the Democratic candidates I know very well. and I think he'd be really good. But also, but just study both sides of that, and but sitting back here as a non-political person, but you watch these races and you listen, and all the commercials we see on TV and all the mail-outs that we get daily. It's really interesting when you start, studying these different candidates.
You need to basically disregard a lot of these negative ads because they're not really very good. And remember, the candidates who are running against those races are not the ones putting those out. I know Rick was really disturbed because there's one out against one of his opponents, and he didn't have anything to do with it. But he's been blamed for it. That happens sometimes. There's what they call dark money today, and this money is set up through these different groups, and it's hidden money because the people who give the money cannot be or are not identified, and so you just don't know who's even doing it, where the contributions come from. It's legal. It's just hard to identify. So be careful about that. I just kind of think you ought to ignore most of the negative stuff and go with what you study the candidates and pick the one you think's the best.
I agree.
So what's going on with this screwworm? We've had a lot of talk about that. Ron Hayes talked about it a couple of times this week in his program. Is this really a threat for farmers and ranchers here in western Oklahoma?
I think it's going to be. I don't think it is right now. I had a meeting with the state entomologist 2 weeks ago, and he said, he said if you would asked me back in January, we would have bet money that it would be in Oklahoma by May. He said, now we're going to have to wait a while. But since then, I guess this is 3 weeks ago, we've had, as of yesterday morning, and I haven't seen the updates since yesterday morning, we had 6 cases in Texas. I think 4 of them are cattle, 1 horse, and 1 dog. But it's just what it can do, and I think we have to be this comes from a blowfly, and this larva and these maggots are going to feed on warm-bodied animals, and one thing about it, if a cow has been deceased for 8 hours, that is not New World screwworms that are on her, because they're going to leave in about 3 to 4 hours from warm-bodied animal. But the thing that farmers and ranchers are going to have to do is that you're going to have to frequently inspect your livestock. I know in Texas now we have a radius, I think if it's 18.4 miles around each case in quarantine. So I think we're just going to have to pay attention to livestock. This can happen in the nostrils. It can happen in the ear canal. It can happen on a scratch. There's a horse they showed us a picture of in Mexico that just like a wire cut, and it started there. Just have to pay attention to them.
It is treatable, though. That's the good news.
Yeah, and the thing about it, they call it the New World, and it is New World, but we had it in the 60s and 70s here in Oklahoma. I had a cattlemen's meeting yesterday, and we talked about that. We can remember when we were kids, you didn't dehorn or castrate until it was cool weather because we wanted to be careful. They did come up yesterday. The state sent us 3 approved drugs that are conditionally approved by the FDA for New World screwworms. For this period, one's Dectomax, CA1. We got Ezote. And the last one I don't know a whole lot about is Cardolio. But these are, and that was mainly for dogs, but for cattle, the Dectomax is something that we do use. So we just got to make sure it doesn't start and get going hard.
Check your cattle, in other words. Yeah.
Check them frequently. Check your dogs, your horses, your cows. And these guys, like this, the cattle deal is worth so much money. These guys, like yesterday, we got guys now wanting to fog cattle for flies like we did a long time ago. And we have these misters put up on the back of their feed boxes on the back, and they can drive down their cattle and just fog them. So pay attention, and that would be good.
Let's take a quick break. Then when we come back, you have an announcement to make. I want to get that.
Yes.
Big announcement coming up, folks, after this message. So stay tuned. Larry Bryant, our guest on the program this morning.
Running for Oklahoma governor ain't supposed to be easy. You gotta be tough. So Mike Mazzei's whining and crying as we learn about his liberal record? Tough luck, Mikey. See, while President Trump crushed the woke left, Mike Mazzei allowed transgender surgeries in Oklahoma. That's right. Mazzei voted to allow a taxpayer-funded hospital to hide children undergoing radical gender reassignment treatments, sex changes that transitioned boys into girls and girls into boys. But that's not all. Trump's MAGA movement would have been crushed by Hillary Clinton if Mike Mazzei got his way. Mazzei voted to remove Oklahoma from the Electoral College, going to a national popular vote that would have rigged the system for crooked Hillary Clinton.
Thanks, Mike Mazzei, for trying so close.
A transgender ally endangering our kids, a Clinton lover and Trump hater, MAGA phony Mike Mazzei, woke, radical, and just too liberal for Oklahoma. Paid for by Make Oklahoma Great Again, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. 601 South Boulder Avenue, Suite 610, Tulsa, Oklahoma 74119, 918-947-9459.
When it comes to your business being noticed, it's Davis Printing. Sure, they do business cards, envelopes, brochures, newsletters, and carbonless forms, but they go way beyond print. Need mailing solutions, postcards, letters, invoices, quarterly reports? They have it covered. Want to stand out? Banners, wall wraps, monument signs, channel letters, window graphics, and even digital signs. And don't forget the swag. Shirts, pins, promo gear, all personalized. All across Oklahoma, Davis Printing delivers. Email davisprinting@att.net, and let's get to work.
When you're making decisions as important as choosing home health or hospice for a loved one, it's important to ask the right questions. Are they locally owned? Are they proven through years of successful business practices? If necessary, can you transition from home health to hospice with the same care given? You can find all this and more at your locally owned Shepherd Home Health and Hospice. They've been serving Clinton and the surrounding area since 2006 with dependable, local, and reliable care. Shepherd Home Health and Hospice of Clinton. Call today.
I'm Marty Quinn. I was in the insurance business for 40 years. I know high premiums are devastating family budgets. As your insurance commissioner, I will deliver accountability and affordability, put Oklahoma families first, and ensure the consumer always wins with Quinn. I'm Marty Quinn. I'm running for insurance commissioner because premiums are too high and consumers are being left behind. I have the experience and the conservative record to deliver accountability, affordability, and consumer protection to ensure the customer wins with Quinn.
Paid and authorized by friends of Marty Quinn.
Hey, Tavo, what's a good dad joke?
What kind of shoes do frogs wear?
What kind?
Open-toed shoes.
Okay, so maybe don't come see Tavo at Cleaver's Appliances and Home Furnishings in Clinton for dad jokes, but do come see him for great savings on recliners, motion bases, and mattresses. All are on sale for Father's Day. Also, follow Cleaver's Appliances and Home Furnishings on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Cleaver's of Clinton. Prices you like, quality you deserve.
Hey, who took my fries?
No mystery here, McDonald's did. Those hot, golden French fries are hard to resist, and they're even better with the classics you love, like the Big Mac and Quarter Pounder. Craving chicken? McDonald's has crispy chicken sandwiches and nuggets the whole family will enjoy. Add a cold soft drink or a fresh cup of coffee and you're set. The Phillips Family McDonald's proudly serves Weatherford, Clinton, and Elk City, keeping families fed and smiling every day. Stop in or drive through your local Phillips Family McDonald's in Weatherford, Clinton, or Elk City.
State Representative Anthony Moore.
Rick Cook tells it like it is, and he doesn't back down. He's tough. He's direct. Rick doesn't care about political gains. He cares about getting results and standing up for our values. I need Rick fighting right along beside me in the Oklahoma legislature.
Conservative businessman Rick Cook will fight to secure the border, protect rural Oklahoma, and stand with President Trump. Rick Cook for State Senate. Tough leadership, real results.
Hi, I'm Rick Cook. Help me make Western Oklahoma great again. Paid for by Friends of Rick Cook, 2026.
24 minutes after 7 o'clock, and polls will be opening up. Well, they're already open. They opened at 7 this morning now this is at the election board offices around the state. So in your county, to find out where your election board is, like at Clinton, it's on the old highway, 183, right across from Nicholson Monument. Starting at 8 this morning, you can go there and vote throughout the day, 8 to 5, same thing on Friday, and then Saturday until noon. Then they close on Monday. Then the regular polls open up on Tuesday, so that's coming up. But with us on the program this morning, Larry Bryant, head of the OSU Extension Office. Larry is got a big announcement to make, and I want to notify our news department because we want to get this on the news. So tell us what's going on.
First off, I want to remind everyone we have the 100th County Custer County Fair coming up this fall. Fair Board's working extremely hard. They've got an entertainer that will be coming in on Saturday night, and all this will be coming out. But we got rides coming in. We got blow-ups, different livestock, horse shows. It's the 100th anniversary of the Custer County Fair, so that's something really big.
That's exciting. I can remember going to that when I was a kid, and it was a big, big deal. It's still a big deal. It's just not quite like it used to be.
Right. Now, one announcement I need to make, and my 4-H educator, Ashlyn Hunter, used to ask me if I was going to make it today, and I said, well, I wasn't planning on it, but I can. But, I was an ag teacher for a long time, and I've been in Extension. This is 5 years, and I've extremely loved working with Custer County and with these producers. And, in the areas from gardening classes to working with trees and our beef, Custer County Cattlemen Association has been so good, and I appreciate everyone helping me and helping Extension. We brought some things back to it. We had an open house here not too long ago and had a good turnout. But one thing, I am returning back to teaching agriculture. Every year I always have someone that calls, and I never pay any attention to it. And this year I had one call, and there's some good kids at this place. And
can you tell where that's going to be?
That will be Cordell, Oklahoma. And out of the blue, I received a phone call and gave him some names of some possible ag teachers. And he said, Larry, we'd like to hire you. I said, I'm not interested at all. So it kind of worked it out. And I'm a Christian person. And last Friday, I'm driving to El Reno to help with the district horse show. And I get a call from a school board member who had one of them. He called. He said, I got your number from the superintendent. He said, I want to let you know how much we prayed that you would accept this job. So, to me, but I'm looking forward to it, to building kids. Kids are kind of like wheat. You plant them, you fertilize them, and watch them grow. Put a little water on them, and I think we hear all the things about kids and the young people today, but there's still lots of good ones out there. So, but I have thoroughly enjoyed working for Custer County, for OSU, and the people in Custer County. The producers have been so good. I mean, we've got so many of them involved now, and water test. When I came on board, I don't remember doing the first water test. In the last 2 months, we've done over 100. Soil test, forage test. Ashlyn Hunter, she will be the new CED. She's our 4-H educator, and they'll open up the ag education job pretty quick. But anyway, continue. If you need any help, call the office. Still, the great people will be there. But I'd like to thank everyone for what they've done for me.
Well, you've done a great job, and you've worked at it really hard. I can tell you, we've been talking to you since you started there with doing the ag education stuff and on the radio. So you've done a great job. Sorry to see you leave OSU, but I know you'll do a great job at Cordell, and that's where your love is. I know my wife worked with you when you were at Thomas,
yep,
and has always been fond of the job you did over there with the kids. So that I would think in that job you got to like the kids. You got to like working with kids.
Well, you do. And I have had through the years, I have had 8 former students that became ag teachers. I've got the former student is the director of Oklahoma Career Tech. I've got one that's assistant superintendent at the VOTEC at Alva. One is at the VOTEC at Wayne. Superintendent at Cole Schools. And, I've just had lots of good students, and I just enjoy working with kids. So when they call me, I guess I always like a challenge, or, I'm never going to probably, people say, well, why don't you retire? And I said, I can retire, but what am I going to do?
That's kind of the way I feel. You asked me how I like retirement. I'm really not doing much different, still doing a lot of the same things. I'm just not doing this radio show every morning. At my age, you go home and sit. I don't think that would be healthy. That's what my wife says. It wouldn't be very healthy. Not for her either.
No.
Well, Larry, gosh, you've done a great job, and really sorry to hear that you're leaving OSU, but at the same time, good luck with your new undertaking. And so when will you finish up your work at the OSU Extension office?
Tomorrow, and I'll start. I'm taking some annual time, but because I've got so much of it, and actually July 30th will be my very last day, but tomorrow will be my last day in the office till then. But people can call me. I tell you, just like this sulfate water test, we're fighting that deal. And we're starting to see nitrates coming back. So be watching Sudan, Johnson grass, hay grazer. We're already seeing some up testing high nitrates. So Call us if you need something.
Very good. Thank you for being on the show. Larry Bryant
Thank you.
from the OSU Extension office with a big announcement this morning. Lots going on, Larry. Thank you so much for being on the show and doing your part.
Thank you.
We'll
Appreciate
be
it.
talking to you still from the Cordell
Yeah.
Ag Department,
There
okay?
you go.
Have a great day. You're listening to The Right Time with Harold Wright, Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show this morning. It's time for state news, and then we'll have local and area news coming up as well.
News from the Radio Oklahoma News Network. I'm Ann Roberts. All 77 county election boards are expected to be busy today. State Capitol correspondent Trey Davis has more.
Early voting in the primary election for Congress, statewide offices, legislators, county officials, and a state question is underway today. You can vote in person absentee at your county election board. The polls are open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. today and Friday, and from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday.
A Tulsa man missing for several days is found alive under a bridge. 36-year-old Stephen Russell had not been seen since Sunday. The Tulsa County Sheriff's Office says it's unclear how long Russell had been under the bridge. He was transferred to a hospital to be treated for heat exposure. More on these stories at RadioOklahomaNews.com. From the Radio Oklahoma News Network, I'm Ann Roberts.
News by Oklahomans for Oklahomans. The Radio Oklahoma News Network.
Brad Bowles is a lifelong Oklahoman, proven businessman and conservative leader who knows how to create jobs and deliver results. Raised in Marlow, Brad earned his MBA in finance and helped grow his family's manufacturing company from 100 employees to nearly 500 before selling it to a Fortune 500 company. Later, he co-founded Philtech Services, now employing more than 100 people across 8 states. Brad understands what it takes to strengthen Oklahoma's economy because he's done it himself. His record of service includes mayor of Marlow, school board member, chamber president, and church deacon. Since 2018, Brad has represented Grady and Stevens counties in the Oklahoma House, where he's fought for conservative values and championed Oklahoma energy, manufacturing, and agriculture. His landmark energy legislation has already brought billions in new investment to Oklahoma. Brad and his wife Michelle are raising their family in Marlow, guided by faith, integrity, and service. Brad Bowles, conservative leadership and real-world experience for Oklahoma Corporation Commissioner. Vote Brad Bowles.
Not authorized by any candidate or candidate committee. Authorized and paid for by the Oklahoma Conservative Coalition. P.O. Box 89, Lawton, Oklahoma 73502 580 529 8683.
Everyone is feeling it. Inflation is causing the price of everything to go up. And State Question 832 will only make things worse. 832 will cause inflation to skyrocket, raising prices even more on essentials like groceries, gas, childcare, and medication. Higher prices squeeze small business, Oklahoma families, and senior citizens on fixed incomes. It's simple. You have the power to stop it and protect all Oklahomans. Vote no on State Question 832.
Authorized and paid for by OCPA.
7:33 as we continue with our program live from the Shepherd Home Health and Hospice Studios, and we're broadcasting over the Southwest Air and Heat Hotline. It's 78 degrees here in the KCLI studio, but 76 out at the state line, so temperatures hot and windy this morning. Speaking of windy, John Matthews, I think, is in the newsroom.
Most people use the word gassy, but I'll take windy this morning. I'm fine with that. Chance of severe weather this afternoon. We'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it could bring some rain, which would be good. It's going to cool things down a little bit.
Yeah, we need it. We need it. Expect heat indexes above 100, of course, today. And then, yeah, when that wind shifts direction at 40 miles an hour, we'll see what happens.
I'm tired of the wind.
Yeah,
I was fixing some signs yesterday for a friend, and I about blew away.
Harold, is it? I'm sure we can easily look this up, but you've been an Oklahoman for your whole life, at least a lot of it. Would you say, it's just always windy. Why are we still surprised? Why are we still?
You get to where you have a few days where it's not so windy.
Yes.
And it just takes the breath out of you.
It does. In fact, we're looking just for funsies. 40 miles an hour today. Tomorrow, 25 miles an hour. On your Saturday, 35 miles an hour. Sunday is our best chance right there after the storms come through. Sunday, it's a 40% chance, and then it should be light winds. I don't know, maybe. If you're looking for a wind-free weekend, who knows? All right, so question. Today, free food, Harold. Have you heard about this?
No.
It's the summer.
You would always be on top of that.
Listen, I've got kids, and if you've got kids and they're grandkids, whoever, eating you out of house and home for the summer, maybe you're keeping them. This is a free food program, and it's not based on anything. It's not based on income. It's not based on, this is just the schools. They get grant dollars for this, and they want you to come get it. Your kids do not have to be present. So from 11 to 1 today at Stafford Elementary in Weatherford. They give you 5 breakfast and 5 lunch, and it's all prepackaged, pre-prepared, ready to go. Corn dogs, pizza, chicken patties, chocolate milk, white milk, snacks, whatever, all of it. The French toast sticks, all of it's there. And all you have to do is just give them your kid's name. They don't have to be a Weatherford School District person. They don't have to be. And then Clinton is doing theirs today from 11 to 1 at the high school. And again, same thing. They do not have to be members of the Clinton Public Schools, Weatherford Public Schools. You just swing by. They don't have to get out of your car. You just give them the kids' names. You can even make up names. They don't care because they are giving this free food away. And the more food they give away, the more money they receive for funding. So it's good for everyone. You were home during the summer. You have the swimming pool, and I'm sure they were eating all the snacks and everything possible.
Well, we had to pay for them. I used to get so hungry going swimming at the pool.
Oh, yes.
And they had a little concession there. Man, I would swim all afternoon, and you know how you get so hungry when you're swimming.
Yes.
And so we didn't get free food.
No, but your hot dog cost 10 cents back in the day?
Well, a little more than that. But I don't remember what hot dogs were. I know hamburgers were like 25 cents. How about that?
25 cents for a hamburger?
Yeah.
I paid $12.99 yesterday.
You could get a hamburger and fries down at the old porterhouse for 25 cents, maybe 35 later on.
$12.99. Go see that old porterhouse, the Heartland Museum, by the way.
Yeah, you can. We're going to have free hot dogs out there next Friday from 11 to 1. So if you're talking about free food, you want to bring kids out for a free hot dog.
I love it. It's very nostalgic. Is that the word?
Yeah, I got a news story.
Go for it.
Big news item. Larry Bryant just announced has resigned or is resigning from the OSU Extension office.
Oh, no.
He's going to go to work in Cordell as the ag teacher there.
That's real?
Yeah, that is a real story.
Larry Bryant's resigning?
He's resigning and has resigned already from the OSU Extension office. Tomorrow will be his last day.
Who is stepping in to replace?
We don't know for sure. I don't think that has been determined as of yet.
This is fast. Is there any kind of juicy gossip there? Or
No,
is it
he got an offer to go to Cordell. That's what he told us. He's going over there to teach, and he just couldn't. He likes working with kids.
Yeah,
and
he's great with it.
And so he just they really wanted him to come there, and so he's decided to make that move.
Wow, okay,
very positive thing for him, and there's nothing bad necessarily going on at the Extension office. He's just done a really good job there too.
Going to be big shoes to fill.
Yes,
no doubt about it.